Hey, this is Zach Peak.
Hey, this is Pat Dorian.
This is Drew Rob.
It's Anthony Cervidio.
You're listening to the Talking Birdie podcast.
Fly ball left field. Nate McClouth is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Goins. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. And he's down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Party around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead.
With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
Welcome back to the Talking Birdie podcast, episode 32. I'm joined today by Brad. My name is Josh. No Ryan today. I don't actually know what he's doing. Do you?
That's some super top secret stuff.
Okay.
That's not we're not worthy of that kind of knowledge. So yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
I figured he would have just said what it was when he said he couldn't come on tonight. But Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It's good to see that you made it back to Ohio in one piece. Maybe not the Ohio part. It's good to see you're still in one piece. So
Very factual.
yeah, it was fun hanging out a bit the other day, though, man.
Yeah, it was nice, man. When I drove back, so I didn't get to leave till probably like 8:30 before I could even start the 6-hour drive back.
Right.
And I got to Pittsburgh. I got my like soggy Wendy's nuggets and just stared at the overlook at like 1 a.m. And my goal was to get to Ohio because I wasn't going to make it all the way back home. So I hit Youngstown first rest stop and took a 2-hour nap there and went home at about 6 a.m. So
You're living that minor league life right there. Not getting to the hotel, just pass it out in the back of your car. I did that when I was driving to Florida a couple of years ago because I was going down just for the weekend. And I was like, yeah, I don't have time to stay the whole fucking night. It's 2 a.m. I'm going to take a nap for 2 hours at some gas station in North Carolina and then get my ass back on the road. So I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
It's kind of revitalizing, man. So like the way down to Baltimore, I was like comfy in my car when I slept in Youngstown, but like I for some reason went and got an Airbnb. You know, I could have slept in my car. I was comfy enough. I wanted to shower in the morning, but like when you're that tired, the car is just fine.
I think after a certain time, it's tough to book an Airbnb anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
If it's a hotel,
I wasn't going to do it anyway.
Yeah, if it's a hotel, you pretty much can whenever. But a lot of Airbnbs are like, oh, if it's after 7 o'clock or something, I feel like then you're kind of host.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, though.
I don't know. I haven't ran one myself, but maybe one day.
So true, man.
So we've been to the only Orioles win so far in the season. They're 1-5. Thoughts on opening day? Because I thought it was a good time at the park. You hit your Mateo bet. That was pretty awesome.
I hit my Mateo bet. That was the second time I hit that this year, actually. One of them being on Saturday. I got even more money on Saturday. What the bet was, the sports book, whoever runs this book that I'm on, clearly had no fucking idea who Mateo is. The one advantage of the Orioles sucking the last few years and Jorge Mateo not being a very well-known player. He had 12-1 odds on Saturday to steal a base. Well, I made the bet opening day. It was 12-1 odds. I lost. So I'm down $100 then. The next day I make the bet again and it hits because he steals second base against the Rays without a throw. I win $1,200 on that. Then I lose again the next day. And then the day after that, on opening day, you got to see me win the 650, where they did adjust the odds a little bit, but I still felt like that's still really good value. Plus 650, it's basically $600 down. You win 650, and again, he stole it standing up. So shout out Jorge Mateo. I am the new president of the Jorge Mateo fan club.
Your let's go shout like around all these confused people just cracked me up.
Oh, it was so funny because it was like such a minor play in the game scene. There was basically a little golf clap going on, like, yay, Mateo took second base. And I'm like, let's go.
In the front row of whatever section, the mom next to us was like genuinely curious of like how you won $600.
Yep. I'm just proud of myself for not dropping any F-bombs that she had her kids with her.
Yeah, the kids did look mortified though. They were like 2 seats away and they were just screaming adult man.
That's all right. Everybody's safe. Everybody's safe and sound.
Oh yeah. It was cool though, man. Bruce Zimmerman gets the good start. Hometown kid against the Brewers. They win 2-0. Lopez with the closeout, and it was a good game. The only good game they've had so far.
Yeah, for real. Did you get to run into your Twitter friends?
I saw a few down there. Shout out to Mass and Orioles, Bryce. I think we met George, met Ryan. Who was on this podcast, but I wasn't on it when he was. Right. A couple other guys, but yeah, it was nice down there. Alex and O's, Dylan, yeah, good group of guys. I wish I could have met more of the people down there. There was probably about 30 people down there.
Yeah, for sure. I knew a lot of people that were there, so I went to go see some other friends, and I'm not as cool on Twitter as you guys, so I just made it different rounds, I guess. So
fair enough.
Yep, but yeah, it was an overall good time, entertaining game. Pitching looked really good. Zimmerman tossed a gem. Bullpen. Bauman came in, looked much better than when he was up at the bigs last year. The velo was back up on that fastball, so that's an encouraging sign.
He touched 98, right?
Yeah, especially. So I think I was reading when he was in the big leagues last year, he was down below like 94, which I was not impressed. Yeah, when he was doing well in the minors, he was in the upper 90s. I saw him hitting 99 on the gun in the ninth inning as of a start one time. So yeah, it's good to see his velo's back up. They seem to fix that. And Aiken's off to a good start out of the bullpen. He didn't actually pitch that game, but he's come in for a few times. So there have been some bright spots. Of course, now we see Means going out of the rotation. And
we're in trouble, man.
We already have Spencer Watkins in there. Yeah, so whoever the hell's next, they can bring in somebody, better. I mean, it's got to at least be at a minimum. It's got to be Bradish, right? I mean, the next guy up, or Aiken or Bauman out of the bullpen. I know you're a Chris Ellis fan, but I mean, please, I can't handle that. I can't handle Watkins and Chris Ellis in the same rotation again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go back to rooting for tanking, and I don't want to do that.
It depends on the severity of Means' injury and what they're thinking for like the Bradish DL Hall timeline, but they might just bring up all the long relievers from AAA, all the guys that are currently on the major league staff, and they're just going to throw like 4 like piggyback starts in a row. It's going to be like a minor league rotation, and then Jordan Lyles will kind of get like more of a leash, which is already controversial. But
well, you know where I stand on that, but now Ryan has suddenly made his way over into the Jordan Lyles fan club just because he wants to be a dick. So,
so what? I mean, they haven't put Means on the IL yet, but I think it's Lyles. Let's just assume Means is out at the time, but this rotation gets ugly real fast. Lyles, Wells, who had a poor piggyback start of his own. He didn't look bad, just weak contact. But.
Yeah. The other Wells, Alex Wells, got called up and hasn't pitched yet, so there's a chance you could see him hop in there. Yeah, I would think it's got to be either Alex Wells or a Mike Bauman or Keegan Aiken based on how they've come in of their piggyback outings out of the bullpen. I feel like one of those guys has earned a shot. So.
That was kind of my thoughts with like the Watkins start. Like, why didn't Aiken start that game if you were going to use him anyway? Watkins is clearly not the better pitcher out of the two, and Aiken has like recent success.
Watkins served one role, and that his role was to come in last year and tank for the highest draft pick possible, and he fulfilled that role, and there's zero reason for that bum to be on the roster anymore.
If you're going to bring up a guy on a whim like that for just extra arms, like, I don't know, start the guy who's actually been playing on the major league staff and like playing well.
I just don't get it, man. Like, I don't get what purpose he serves. We have enough arms that are at least somewhat entertaining to fill out a roster down in AAA and have as spare parts, as opposed to a Watkins who we just know isn't. I mean, he's not it. Congratulations to the guy. He fulfilled a dream. He debuted in the major leagues. All right, Mr. Elias, you don't have to feel bad about cutting him. So, or DFAing him, because he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a bleak start so far. We're 1-5. The Orioles just finished off the series with the Brewers yesterday. Dropped all 3 to the Rays. None of those games were really noteworthy. Unless you feel differently.
I think on one hand, though, things do tend to get magnified early in the season. Every team's going to lose 5 out of 6 at one point. There was only one game where we really got smoked, and that was the Tyler Wells start on Sunday where we lost 8-0. Every other game, it's just come down to who's going to get the big hit, and it's always been either the Rays or the Brewers, I guess, except on opening day. Cedric Mullins got a 2 RBI single.
Yeah, and for like 3 days, 4 games maybe, Cedric Mullins was the only producer of runs. He drove in the 2 with the single, he hit the grand slam, and they finally ended that last night, but it took him a while where it was the only thing. And I mean, the runners in scoring position has been bad, man. It's like a 100 batting average.
Yeah, I think maybe even lower. Was it like 447, or was that going into last night?
I think after last night, it's just over a 100 batting average.
Oh, all right.
But now they're over the hump.
So we improved. Dude, it was like I said in the group chat in game 2 of that Brewers series. Mullins gets a hold of one off of Josh Hader. You're not going to get many opportunities against a dominant reliever like that. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. We're fucked. And somehow that ball stayed in. It looked like he got it. It looked like it was going to be his second home run of the game. It hits off the wall for a leadoff double. Most of the time, a leadoff double sounds great. But like I said, when you're facing a dominant reliever who can easily just sit down the next 3 and miss bats, that was pretty deflating for me.
Yeah, and Mullins never got past second base either. I get you have Mountcastle and Mancini up, so you're not going to bunt one of those guys, but he never passed second base. Mancini, Mountcastle strikeout. I think Santander just grounded out or something. I don't remember the final, but that was when I was headed to bed. Yeah.
And then the inning before, another thing I said in the group chat, we had the bases loaded, nobody out. I don't think I've ever felt less confident in a run scoring with the bases loaded, nobody out. I felt like we had a 20% chance, and lo and behold, the next 3 guys strike out because the bottom of our lineup is just a sight for sore eyes.
You hit that middle part. It's like after Santander and like Mancini, it hits like Urias and Hayes, and you're like, okay, got a little something going there. Yeah. Then you end up with like Odor or Owings and Ben Boom and Chirinos. Yeah,
Owings, man.
He's like 0 for 4. I think he has 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. That's like all of his appearances.
That's another thing where we have actual prospects I would rather see than Owings, and we don't have to worry about their service clocks at this point. So I don't care. Taryn Vavra, call up freaking Adam Hall from AA for all I care. I don't care. Like, just show me something from somebody from the number 1 ranked farm system that's actually relevant, you know?
Yeah. I tweeted this out the other night, but maybe I can understand having Odor or Owings, but
not both.
When you bring up both and they start the year on the major league roster, like I really thought they'd give like Richie Martin the same role as Owings, which is better, but it's still not like good, obviously. But I mean, they went out and they didn't go out and get Owings minor league deal, but they still left him on there when there's other guys who are younger and I don't know, have the potential to provide more, I guess. I get Owings as like a 10-year vet, but it's not a great track record.
I mean, 10-year vet, that's kind of the same way I see Jordan Lyles as a 10-year vet, but it's 10 years of dog shit. So, I mean, what good does that do me?
Yeah, he was never a starter for any of these teams. I think with the Rockies maybe, but what's that?
I think being tagged as a veteran is vastly overrated if you were never actually good at that level.
Right. There's a few guys like that. But so on a high note, though, bullpen has been interesting.
Yeah. Probably overachieving a little, but there are some guys to get excited about. Felix, his arm's looking good. Who else? Dylan Tate, his velo's up a little bit.
He ticked back up to 96 after starting out really late.
Yeah, obviously we mentioned the piggyback guys. Aiken's been great so far. I think Bauman's only pitched once, right?
Yeah.
Opening day, yeah, he was very good.
Even like Brian Baker's been really good. And like, who's that? Joey Crable hasn't had like a hiccup yet. You still got a couple guys in there like Paul Fry and who's another one? That might be it. Out of like the realest stinkers. Like, I guess some people think that about Jorge Lopez. I disagree. But like Paul Fry's been knocked up like 3 times already. Yeah, it's more fun than last year, I think, though. You're not going to see those like waiver claim one outing and released again guys too much this year.
Yeah, I think there's still potential for it to get more fun as the season goes on, but hopefully things happen. I mean, that's with the overall roster, not just the bullpen, obviously. So,
yeah, that is kind of the silver lining of 2022 is like this roster is not going to get worse this year. DL Hall posted a very interesting story today on Instagram.
Okay. I didn't know that one, so go ahead.
It was like you guys can go find it. It's on DL Hall's like story or Instagram. It's like a clip of something, but it's a compilation of him striking guys out, and it's got like the same like Orioles like what the social media team uses for their designs of guys and stuff. And it was pretty like a little hype tape he put out there, but yeah, I don't know. Good sign, I guess.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Get here soon, DL.
Yeah, it's just the Orioles. I mean, they're in no rush to pull these studs up. I understood it for a while. I'm ready for them to get a little bit more urgent on that front. So hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but based on the reports coming about Adley, oh yeah, he's doing much better every day with his throwing and his hitting. I feel like most other organizations, he'd already be playing ball right now. Based on just, nothing of facts, but just the way this organization is dragging their feet with moving these guys up.
They're just so safe with them. I mean, it was like a stress tricep or something. Like, that's not a serious injury, but they're treating it like a torn ACL.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's really it for the major league team. They just need to hit, man. They haven't been doing that at all. They've lost a lot of these games on their own volition. I mean, Watkins made 2 throwing errors that scored a few runs the other night. That was the difference in the game, essentially. Those couple runs. I think the Brewers only legit scored 2 of those runs. But yeah, tough. That'll even out, though. I think their OPS as a team is like under 700. That's pretty bad.
What, you say the Brewers OPS or the Orioles OPS?
The Orioles OPS. Like, it's,
I mean, that sounds about right, because we don't have anybody that's exactly lighting the world on fire right now.
No, Santander had a good series against the Rays.
Santander, yeah.
He's cooled off a little bit. On opening day, I guess he was 2 for 2, had 2 walks, and then Mullins finding his groove a little bit's been nice. We were a little worried for a minute for some reason.
Mullins and Mountcastle are both in the ballpark of like a 750-ish OPS right now, give or take 20 points or so. Mullins started out really slow, so it's good that he's trending up now. Mountcastle started a little bit hotter and he's cooled off a little bit. I mean, it's a small sample kind of thing, so
yeah,
it's nothing to get too concerned about, but
it'll even out. But there's some real non-competitive ABs there at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, the bottom of the lineup is just a black hole, man.
Terrible.
Like, I know, obviously, I probably get made fun of for being a Bannon fan and all that, so much, so on and so forth, but I don't think there's any shot in hell that he's not an improvement over, like, some of these bums that we're throwing out there right now, like Gutierrez. And I know Owens is a shortstop, but he's a utility guy, more or less. So, I mean, you could have Bannon up, and you could play Mateo at shortstop, move Bannon somewhere, I mean, I'd much rather be seeing him right now. I'd much rather be seeing Vavra. And just give me a spark. Give me a spark, man.
Yeah. No reason Urias shouldn't be the everyday third baseman. Yeah. Same with Mateo at short. I think his plate discipline's been like very much an improvement from last year. That's kind of his like fault. But yeah, I mean, no reason those guys shouldn't be the left side of your infield every day, second base. I mean, it is Odor, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah, man.
That'll work itself out this year.
But Odor is he was either really cheap or he was a minor league deal that we figured was
$700K.
Yeah, okay. So the point is he'd be easy to DFA if it was time to move on from him. So hopefully, I don't think they're going to DFA him 2 series into the season, but if he continues sucking, they might. And
He's this year's
somebody-
Michael Franco, and he'll be gone at some point. But
I hope that he doesn't last as long as Michael Franco did.
that was way too long.
They
left that man until July, I think, or August.
It was pretty much, over half a season. So.
Yeah, and O's off today. They go to play the Yankees at home. 3-game set, I believe. Lyles has the first game. I don't know who they face, but then they play 4 games against Oakland. That's about it for the Orioles. Not a lot of good last night. A lot of angry people on Twitter as usual, but more so yesterday.
Yep. Oh, well, like I said, things will get magnified early on, but at the same time, we have sucked the last few years, and we do know that we do. While I think we're going to be better this year, we do still have some suck to take out. So,
yeah, like you said, there's still a lot of garbage that needs to get taken out.
Still got to take out the trash. So,
sooner
rather than later.
Moving on, since Ryan's not with us today, we'll be extending our fantasy picks from last week a week. So we get 2 weeks of their performances, and whoever the winner, everyone keeps the same teams. Just figured it'd be easier that way without someone here. Brad, he suggested a text draft.
Yeah, I mean, I was open to whatever you guys wanted to do, man.
It's not fun for the live edit.
No, yeah. I mean, we would just had to put it on Twitter or something, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Extending it is definitely the best possible way to do it. Plus, saved us the work of calculating for a week. So.
Yeah, I was not in a good position to do that today.
Yeah, no problem with that.
We can move on to a more fun conversation than the major league team, and that's the minor league highlights and just some thoughts that you got going on there. We already talked about Adley ramping up, so we don't really need to cover that too much. But I mean, you went to a couple games, right? You went to Bowie already.
Shout out to friend of the show, Drew Rom. Actually hooked Ryan and I. We would have hooked you up if you were around. He hooked us up with tickets to the first Bay Sox game. We got to talk to him and catch up with Zach a little bit, so that was super cool. Rob got a little bit unlucky that night. There was some soft contact going against him that was finding holes, and he ended up giving 3 runs up in 3 innings. But it looks like tonight he responded in a big way because he threw 5 scoreless, it looks like. Lowered that ERA down to the low 3s after, getting a little bit unlucky the first start. So shout out to Rom. Good start to the season. Keep it up. He seemed to be in good spirits after the game, too. He was pretty confident about it. He's like, oh, man, first start of the year, no big deal. I'll be fine. And
that's good.
It's a good first response right afterwards. So good for him.
We took a lot of Ks for him, too, tonight. No walks, really.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to pull up the line for tonight. He was, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 Ks, no runs.
Very good.
Right down to 3.38. So
he's back.
Good shit. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling. Hopefully he'll be up in AAA by June or so.
Yep, and then I won't get to see him pitch a game until he's in with the Orioles. So
yeah. Well, come on down if you want to. He seems pretty willing to hook us up whenever. So
yeah, Norfolk doesn't come to Toledo this year, so I won't have that's the by far the nearest AAA park. So I'd either have to drive to Syracuse or Rochester. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, there's not any AAA parks anywhere near here either. Norfolk might actually be the closest one.
I think it is.
Either that or somewhere in New York. Norfolk's 4 or 5 hours so away.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. As far as Bowie's lineup is concerned, the bats aren't off to a great start, but Jordan Westberg is posting an OPS over 1,000, so good for him.
Yeah, he's had a good start.
Adam Hall, the fact that they're playing him in the outfield and the fact that our outfield is stacked, not necessarily a great sign for him. Makes you maybe think that he's falling out of favor a little bit. But at the same time, he's actually off to a pretty good start, too. Batting .368 with the .850 OPS, got a couple stolen bases.
Do people think he's a good defender? Is he noted as a decent defender on the infield?
Good question. I believe so, but I actually am not sure of the scouting reports on
They've been doing that with guys like Jones and Richie Martin, too. So maybe he just kind of goes into that category till he kind of plays himself out.
Yeah, exactly. So
He's faster
good,
than both of those other guys, so that's something.
right. Good start for him. He was a little more highly thought of a few years ago. Struggled a bit last year, but good start for him. So shout out to Adam Hall.
Great night for friends of the pod, man. Dorian had a homer tonight too.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Dorian, man.
I didn't see the video, but it sounded like a piss missile.
I haven't seen it yet either, but good for him. I know he was probably a little frustrated with the slow start, but he's picked up the last couple of games, got his, I believe, first AAA bomb, definitely his first of the year. I don't think he hit one AAA last year. So keep the good vibes rolling, Pat. Good stuff, man. As for Bowie, as far as their rotation goes, let's see. Oh, yeah, Brandon Young, who both Zach and Drew mentioned. Pretty good first start, 4.1 innings pitched, allowed 1 earned run. He's got a 2.08 through 1 start, so good for him. Now, Aberdeen last night, I didn't catch the whole game, but I was just up in the area playing ball, and I was like, oh, well, the Ironbirds are 10 minutes away, so I may as well swing by for the last 4 or 5 innings or so. Fortunate enough to clean up on signed major league balls. I got Cowser, Norby, Prieto,
Dante.
No, I ended up getting TT Bowens because he walked by first. TT Bowens and Kobe Mayo. But yeah, I'll end up getting Dante. I got to get John Rhodes too. He's off to a pretty good start.
He was good last year too. He was one of the top performers in Delmarva.
Yeah, he was not in the lineup last night. But Prieto, yeah, he's off to kind of a slow start overall, but he did hit a ball that had to have been about 400 feet or so last night. And I had a pretty funny exchange with him after the game because when I called him over and asked him to sign, I obviously not fluent in Spanish by any stretch, but, I know a couple bullshit phrases. And I was like, amigo, mucho grande. I did like a swinging motion pointing to right field. And he comes back and he's like, oh, thank you, brother. Pitcher, Team USA, always slider. Boom. I was like, oh, man.
That's awesome.
So count me on the Cesar Prieto fan club right now. So
oh yeah, we were all there, but that's huge.
That was a pretty hilarious exchange right there.
You hit a pretty good game last night. They had was it a Mayo walk-off?
No, Aberdeen ended up losing in extras last night, actually.
Oh. Tied the game then, Mayo.
Yeah, I think he might have tied in the 9th inning or something like that. To be honest with you, it was late, and I would just kind of wanted the game to end so I could go home.
Fair enough.
I could get my signed balls and go home. But yeah, Cowser's off to a good start. He's got an 893 OPS. Mayo, he's doing all right. He's got it probably striking out a little bit more than he wants to, but he's at 750. Bowens and Rhodes have the highest OPSs on the team. Rhodes is at 1.471. Bowens is at 1.167. So
I will say with Mayo, at least he's getting hits like every game. He's not having offers. He seems to either get on base or get a hit or extra base hit every game.
Yeah.
He's having a lot of 1-for-4s, but that's fine.
For sure. Now, a disappointing first start for Pinto. He did do a little bit better tonight. He did
decent, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he gave up 2 in the first, but he ended up pitching 4 innings, 8 Ks, and those were the only 2 runs that he gave up. So nice to see him respond.
I'm thinking of it, Hudson Haskin, the 3 bomb game after the 3 double game. We missed him in the Bowie.
Absolutely, yeah.
He got hit on the hand yesterday, though, get taken out of the game.
Oh, boy, yeah. Saw Gunner get hit on the hand the game we went to as well, but luckily ended up being all right. There was some jackass sitting the next section over as soon as he got hit. He's like, oh, I think that's his signing hand.
I've heard that story like 3 times now. That line kills me every time. That's a signing hand.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, Gunner's off to an okay start, but he had one ball that the conditions weren't necessarily conducive to power hitting that ended up going oppo off the wall that probably most days would have been gone. So
I expect by the time June goes around, his power numbers will be boosted with that hot sun.
Yeah, definitely.
As for most power hitters in the org.
Yeah.
Speaking of power guys, Kyle Stowers finally got to play for Norfolk yesterday, and then he played tonight. Double last night, I think. Homer tonight.
Yep.
Don't know what else he did, but that's solid. It's very hopeful.
Very encouraging sign. Another
Yes.
guy who, let's go. I mean,
Yeah. How'd Gray Rod do tonight? I saw he was scoreless through like 2 or 3.
he ended up pitching 5 innings, allowed 2 runs, and I had, I think, 8 Ks or so.
Call him up.
Yeah.
Norfolk's slaughtering Scranton right now.
Yeah, 12-2.
12-2.
Dorian with another hit. So he's got a single home run to walk tonight. So Dorian's heating up. Good for him.
The bottom 5 of the order has 2 hits. All of them have 2 hits.
Sweet. Actually, the bottom, you said the bottom 5, yeah.
The bottom 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Nottingham homer.
Nevin, Bannon, Nottingham, Reiser, Dorian. Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah. Stowers definitely off to the hottest start there.
The disappointing part, obviously, Yusniel Diaz.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Sigh, man.
We can't have anything.
It's so fucking disappointing. It's like some of these guys that just get so close, and then now he feels so far away. Now he feels like, will we ever see it? We don't know. We don't know if we'll ever see him, because he could come back and, it's not that easy of a path for him to get there, especially when you look at Kyle Stowers tearing it up, and so
Newstrom's doing pretty good too.
Newstrom's doing well, and already in the big leagues, Cedric Santander doing well too. So
I don't think he has a shot, but like Johnny Reiser leads Norfolk in home runs. He has 4 already.
Reiser strangely has been bomb or bust, because he leads them in bombs, but his OPS is still under 700. So it's like all or nothing for Reiser.
He's had a few 0 for 4s.
Yep.
But something like I said, man, sometimes we read too much into these early season samples, but when that's all you have to go off of, that's what we have to work with right now. So
Yeah, and after the lockout, man, everything just feels like I just need to pay more attention. Like I'm checking minor league box scores like every hour right now.
yeah, I just caved and got MILB TV tonight. So
it's cheap. So I mean, if you enjoy that more, people might as well pay the $25 for the whole season or whatever it is.
50, but still not bad.
No,
if you're watching it like every day, it's really not too bad. So
right. Who else? I mean, another note about Gray Rod: 8 strikeouts, 0 walks. I don't know if you said that, but no walks is
did
awesome.
not say that part. Yep. Not a hunt. I'm assuming he's done for the night. I would have a hard time seeing him go past 5 innings in his second start, but
in a 12-2 game.
But I can't say that for certain. We'll find out when they start this next inning, because it's the middle of 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty happy with that. DJ Stewart has yet to appear in a game in Norfolk, so
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm more than fine with that. It kind of makes me think like they're like, I mean, what are we gonna do with DJ? Like, do we even need him here right now?
Which one of those guys are you going to say, hey, you need to take a bench day, or you need to take a day on the bench because DJ needs to play? Reiser with a home run tonight, Stowers with a home run tonight, Newstrom's been hitting like crazy.
He could DH, I guess.
No, that's just get DJ out.
Well, yeah, I would like to see him get out too.
He ended every game of the Rays series, I think, with a pinch hit strikeout, or just a pinch hit out.
Really?
He was he was the last batter, bottom 9 2 outs, I think, in several games.
Good God.
Craziness. Bradish had a good start. I don't know his final line, but I think he was 4 innings, 1 run ball, scoreless maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And
get him up here.
Alex Wells also had 4 innings scoreless of 0 run. Yeah, 4 scoreless innings, 0 runs. So
yep. Would love for one of those guys to do something in Baltimore, but sorry for not believing in them right away.
Yeah, well,
I'd
rather see one of them get another shot than Spencer Watkins.
Yeah. I mean, unlike last year, Norfolk's interesting, so at least some of those guys can potentially you see in Baltimore this year. Stowers, Newstrom, Diaz even. Mostly outfielders, but I'm sure you'll see Jones and Martin up here by the end of May, if not earlier.
Yeah, that doesn't really get me all that jacked.
Just better than Owings and Odor.
Yeah, it's better than Owings and Odor for sure.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts? I mean, quick episode tonight. I mean, just getting some early season thoughts out there, and we'll see as more goes on. I'd like to get some of his early thoughts as well, but next week.
Well, we don't have results on John Means MRI today, do we?
I did not see anything about that. Yeah, that was a little bit of a head scratcher last night because he wasn't bad. I think he gave up 2 weak runs, and they took him out after 4. And and then they announced mid-game that it was forearm tightness. Hopefully, that's not an issue.
Yeah,
because this rotation is not going to be in a good place.
Oh man, yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think I'm good for now, man.
I think we're good. All right. Well, you guys can follow the show account at Podcast Birdie on Twitter. You can follow Ryan, who's not here, at RyanSet094. Follow Brad at KU Brad Wandell. Follow me at Out of State O's. Shout out to Matt for leaving us a good 5-star review on the podcast app. He that guy that gave us 1 star and said just a bunch of drunk kids yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Well, Matt goes in there, gives us 5 stars and says just a bunch of drunk kids yelling at each other.
I love it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So shout out Matt. If you have the time, go leave us a 5-star review as well. Those couple that Brad made us go down on still hurting the account.
Yeah, no.
I think we're up to 3 stars now.
You're only as strong as your weakest link. So
yeah, we got flooded with those 1-star reviews and Brad shit on the Diamondbacks.
I think we only might have got 1 out of that, maybe 2.
It says we have like 10 reviews, and we would have had to get more than like 1 of those if our reviews are at like a 3.0.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess that's true. Because I feel like when people leave reviews, it's always either a 1 or a 5 because everyone has to be extreme one way or another. It's never nobody ever leaves a review thinking, that's okay. I'll give them 3 stars. Like it's fine. I won't listen to it every time, but it was fine.
Like nothing's gonna drive you to leave a review unless you loved it or hated it.
Exactly. So it's all or nothing. That's just the mentality of people, really. So
yeah, even if you think this is a 3-star or 4-star podcast, go leave a review. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just search Talking Birdie Orioles on YouTube, and we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, Ryan will be back with us.
I should say, even if you think it's a 3 or 4-star podcast, leave us 5 stars, and then say in the comment section, "Oh, it could have been 3 or 4, but I gave you 5." So,
and we'd appreciate it greatly.
Yep.
All right. See you guys after the Yankees Oakland series next week. Go O's. See you guys.
All righty.